Ooh, baby, that one. Yo, I'm Elmiene. I'm here with GAFFER for the 100, powered by Comey. I would have been a security guard. The Oxford Great Thames court, right outside, well, let me not just dock myself, but very close to my home. There was this court, and my uncle used to work there. You just sit out there, come to the house, get a falafel sandwich, sit by it, easy job, gets paid loads. Loads is a bit of an overstatement, but that would have been me. Oh, it's a weird one. Because it's not even like a headline show. I did this thing for UGG, and they had me in Lanzarote, and I was in a cave, and it was sick. There was like birds, like as soon as you walk down into the cave, and there's birds who live in little divs in the rocks, and they're flying around the cave. You're like, what's going on? And there's like this river that goes across the thing. You're like, this is crazy. That's probably the best stage I think I will ever perform in, to be honest. Mad. I got this like, it's almost lean, almost drugs, but not drugs. There's this Chinese medicine called Ninjong Pei Pa Kwa. Tastes the best thing ever. It's the best. It's like this cold throat medicine, but it works wonders for your voice. So I make this like horrible concoction with like lemon, boiled water, the thing, and then I just sit there. And then we have someone from the band. Every show has to do a speech, and then we finish it with "Never stray from the way. That is the way." And then we get on stage. My dream collab. See, normally I'll say D'Angelo, or like one of those ones, or like Raphael Sadiq, or da-da-da-da. But I actually have to say Sabrina Carpenter. It's not even that nonsense. I just love her. She's the best.
I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer. Oh, you look so cute, wrap around my finger.
I'll probably create the toilet, I'd say, but like the good one. Because, so like I go home to Sudan, I'm Sudanese, on holiday, and if you go to the wrong person's house, they ain't got the toilet seat, they got the hole on the floor, and you can see down it, and you're like, oh, and cockroaches come out and shit. So it's like, and you gotta learn how to squat, and I'm a big nigga, I can't squat. So it's like, I gotta hold onto walls and stuff. You're never more appreciative of a normal toilet seat than when you're there in that position. I would invent the toilet seat. Just the normal with the flush and the planks. I used to be able to list off to you like my whole class in extra maths in year 7, up until I was in uni. And then I really think there's like a memory card of names. And the more you start, like, because my job lets me, I meet so many people every day, that suddenly I realized, well, I can't remember some of those names from back at school. And then it caught up and I couldn't remember. Like I just filled up, I need to empty the memory card. I wish I was better at remembering names, because I forget immediately. I don't know any of your names right now. And have you introduce yourselves, and I'm just a piece of shit. I'm particular with that. What can I do with that? Because there's always like people who say something that they actually could live without, and they take the easy way out. I'm trying to think of something that actually I would be deceased without. My glasses. I'll be done. It's a really bad, horrible world. I feel bad for all the people back in like the 1600s that just, yeah, peak. That's just your life. Especially if you're born like that. No, the sadder one isn't if you're born like that, because you get used to it. The sadder one is if, for me, I lost my sight when I was 16. It started getting worse. So imagine you 15 years of life and I'm sick, and then you're just not. You can't say anything. But I'll sell comic books, number one. But, the best part, I would also fry chicken in the back. And it'll be a thing where like everyone you walk in, you get plastic gloves. So you can munch your thing, yeah, read the book, chill out. I'd have old CRTs everywhere, just playing old like films, like animated films, all of that. You'd get like drinks, standard Shani would be the number one drink, loads of Shani everywhere. And that'd be sick, and it would be called Fry Your Brain. That was gas. I didn't even think, yo, that was gas. I had not thought this before, but it's just all Fry Your Brain, yeah. Oh God, I'd cross my eyes weird. I'd cross one eye. And then which one's crossed right now? This one.
Yeah.
So then I can just like, and then cross that one as well. Basically, I was born like this. When I came out of the womb, I was weird. There's a picture of my dad looking at me like confused. And then 2 weeks later, they just went straight. Now I can just do that at will. I would pick 70s Stevie headlining, repeat all of it, Music on My Mind, Innovision, Songs in the Key of Life, that's Stevie headlining. And then I would have D'Angelo supporting him next, and he would have brought the Roots on, Badu for a little bit, Meth and Red, just the Soul Clarion, basically just the Soul Clarion second. There'd be one group, kind of cheating, but it isn't. And then third, I would have Jeff Buckley performing. Third, that'd be crazy. Jumping in, die. Nah. Jump. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Oh, I could say like Atlantis or something, but the pyramids is a big one as well. How they were built. I would say, how did we all become different races? Is it because there was more sun in Africa, but that because then in Asia it's hot and they ain't black? I don't know. That's my mystery. What type of songs in the Key of Life? Favorite concert I've been to? But her at Coldplay. I watched Coldplay perform in LA, and she supported, and she was insane. I've never heard vocals like that live ever. International Players Anthem. So I CC'd every girl that I CC around town. Just gasp! Wow, what are we talking about? Andre, man, the best. Oh. You know, I'm not even that much of a big of a fan, but football. Or, this is wild, kind of evil, but I found this thing on YouTube by accident where these guys fight in like, just, they just like, so it's ghetto thing, they just put up like 4 walls and go on, and just a random guy who's gonna fall before his glasses on, and then like, baked on, and then they fight, and then it's like, alright, obviously that guy won. Get out, and the next guy comes on and they fight. I don't know what it's called, and it's in the South, just a bunch of Americans just being weird. And I was enamored for like 4 hours, just watching people get wrecked. This is such a good one, there's so many. I'm trying to think of one from the past that I used to love, but I don't say anymore. Get what I'm saying? That's sick. But you get it, like, know what I'm saying, yes? For a superhero, can I use anime as well? Monkey D. Luffy, my favourite. I grew up with him, I've been watching one since I was 6. There's one show since I was 6 years old. I just cry thinking about it, so. Palermo, Sicily, crazy, mad. I was in there for 3 days, like a month and a bit ago. Nuts, mad. If I don't see White Lotus season 2, nuts. There's this one kebab van in Oxford, one called McCoy's. Yo, there's no kebab like this one, I promise you. People come from Birmingham, this isn't even a joke, to Oxford to get the kebab and go back, because there's no kebab like it. Because what they do is, I'm just keep going, they fry the chicken, they stir fry it with mushrooms and onion. Probably just nuts. No one does it like them. I've searched all over London. Oh, London's capital city. Dog, you just look everywhere, you can't find anything near it. It's just the best. McCoy's. I heard I met with someone at McCoy's in the queue. And I was like, you got an American accent, what's going on? And he was like, yeah, I came from Cincinnati. We used to have this back in the day, and I came to London and I had to come all the way to Oxford to get it again. Real. They got McCoy's. So when Sydney people greet each other, they say the same thing over and over again, but it might last a minute. And it goes on for time, like a rap battle. But it's every time someone sees someone. So if you go, your family unit rides out to their home, then that means there's 7 people that are gonna meet, and it's just every time it's a rap battle, every time. And you've got to sit there and watch. I've seen some of my cousins grow up and then have to join the rap battle because like now they're of age. But I'm never subscribing. I'm staying firm on that. Oh man, I really struggle with like exploring places alone. I was in Miami for 10 days and I didn't leave the hotel apart from to the studio for 8 of those days until friends came to Miami, and then I went out and I was getting delirious. But I remember my screen time, which is relevant. My screen time was 14 hours. Matt. And I was like, what is this? And I look back at it in like retrospect, I was like, this is insane. And the next week when I came back home, it went down to like 6. But it really depends. I feel like I need to learn more about what to do with myself when there's nothing else to do, but that figure out what there is to do, because there always is something to do. I just need to find it. The phone is too easy. You kind of get up and you immediately do that. Probably the most dehumanizing thing ever is when you get up and you scramble for your phone, you don't even wake it. What happened? Why did I do that? Something needs to change. Oh, and I just had a flashback to being a kid looking up the door, and I just ran out of my room because there was a coat that was hung weird and it looked like a man peering over the door. When you're a kid, your imagination's going crazy. 3 a.m. And I just remember this. For some reason, this is recent, I just remember this one night where I saw it, and I remember this figure just doing, and it was a coat. I found it the next morning, but it was doing that. And I remember I turned around out of fear, and there was like a heater next to me in the bed, and then I saw an eye materialize. My mind was crazy. I was like, so I remember running up to my parents' door and looking up, trying to get the courage to like knock on it, but then I was like, oh my God, they're definitely asleep. But I remember that vision of looking up and the handle being like this high up, and I wrote a song of it. It was very early on because I didn't know how to play an instrument until recently I could play keys. Before that, a good like year and a half doing music without learning how to play an instrument, I just thought, well, this is my only weapon. I've got to really know how to use it the most effectively, the best of its abilities. When I'd be in the studio, I'd be really frustrated because like, when you decide the chords, you play the guitar or the keys, this is what I can do. And then I'd start, like for example, like my song Why, like, all the things, I was like, basically in my head, I'm playing it, like you said, like an instrument, because it's the only instrument I can play. And I couldn't reach for anything else to do anything of the sort. So there was a lot to give out. So that's kind of what started it. But then when I learned how to play keys, now it's like a combination of both. Like I could make chords on the keys and then imitate them with my voice if I wanted to, or like figure out, they just became like hand in hand, things that work together. And I don't think it will ever change, because it just feels like part of Elmiene now, part of my signature. And also I just remember when I was a kid hearing Love's in Need of Love Today for the first time, the start song in the Key of Life. Mad harmony step. And I was like, this is the most incredible thing I've heard in my life. I was like, this just has to be it. No, I was definitely going to be the security guard, for sure. Because it was all just a mad moment, viral moments. You can't really control them. We had an account, and it was just for my friends and family, singing on it just for fun. So when the thing happened, that was the first time I thought, oh, I can do something with this. I remember my friend used to ask me a lot, how good do you think you are compared to everyone else in the world? I don't know whether everyone can sing. Like, a lot of people can't sing. You go on YouTube for hours, look at covers, and people are amazing, of any song you want. I was like, it doesn't really, what's special about this? So you get a moment, you're like, this is cool. So that was the first time I felt like I could do this. Because of that, it was a big part of my journey, kind of actually letting that sink in, that I am doing this. And that I do deserve to at least give it a go and try it out. And if I'm really good at this thing, because it was never that dream that was in the back of my head my whole life. I never had all that time to be like, this is what I want to do, I know it, I am good at this, and like perfect the craft. I had to go as I went. And like, you went from a viral moment to like, you're in the studio, you're like, what's going on? And you got to just figure it out. The best thing I learned about my voice is my limits. Because when you know how far you can go and how low you can go, you know how deep you can dig down. You can find your radius and you're like, okay, let me go down now. I think that's the most important thing, is really understanding the range of your voice and the tone of your voice and what is your thing. Because I learned how to sing from copying singers. I never had a lesson, I just copied D'Angelo, and I copied Stevie, and I copied Marvin and Donny and all these guys. So because my whole time, my thing was spent trying to imitate other voices, having to discover my own was the most important thing. Just really understanding like, oh, I love that D'Angelo song, but I can't do that because that's his tone. But I can do something, the cousin of it, because that's mine. It was just doing that with everything. It was basically going back from ground zero and being like, okay, I love that Stevie song. I used to copy it like he did, and maybe not be as comfortable. Now let me do it my way and sing the song, making sure I'm as comfortable as possible. Suddenly you start discovering different pockets that you didn't know, and that's how you kind of become your own sound. Then someone else might imitate because that's the thing you're doing that is definitely the most comfortable and suited for your voice. But I think that's the most important thing, is covering your range. The biggest challenge was realizing I have to do stuff like this, like photo shoots and interviews and all these other things. When I thought, well, you know, especially because my heroes as well, like D'Angelo is not one to have an interview. So my example was bad. So it's like, I'm like, every time someone's like, you got to do this, I'm like, well, D'Angelo didn't do it. Well, D'Angelo's, God. And they'll be like, fuck's sake, yes, he didn't do it, but you know, he's a different case. And I had to learn that, yes, he's a different case. And so with like Stevie and all of that, like, all my greats are just weirdos. So having to learn that I'm different, like, you know, these are parts of being an artist that you have to kind of get used to. And just learning how to have fun with it. Because that's the one thing I realized, is like, there's no point, if I was initially uncomfortable, to stay in it because no one's having a good time. You might as well just be it, just do it, have a good time for what it's worth. I write as someone else. I write songs Prince instead. That's what I'd do. Like, what would Prince do right now? And I'd just do that. Or what would T-Pain do right now? Have fun with it. What would like any of the, what would Future do right now? I don't even listen to Future, but I can imitate and do that. What would Sexy Red do? That's funny you say that, because it was my birthday not too long ago. Someone asked me, what's one thing you want to do better next year? And I said, I want to write more honest music. More and more, getting down to that. And I think it's just, music's all about feeling, to the max. If a song feels good, it feels good for a reason. You always have to trust your instinct and your gut when you're writing music, because there's no rules at all. So as long as it sounds good to you, the song could be like one chord, one note, the whole thing away, the whole way through it. And that's valid. So I think that's the key to honesty, is just trusting your instinct. And as much as there's a lot of people everywhere, you know, you work as an artist, there's loads of faces and loads of voices that say things. As long as at the end of the day, when you relate to something, you're like, I had that spark when I was writing it, and it's still alive. And I believe in that spark. No matter what everyone else says, that's how you write more honest music. It's a good question. Oh, Nick Hakim. He's sick. He's the best. He's amazing. I discovered him through, I found this really obscure link to a radio show that D'Angelo hosted once, like 2014. It's incredible. It's just D'Angelo talking about, he playlists a bunch of songs on his radio show, but he also talks about the history of how he made music and his inspirations, and that's songs that he plays. He plays like, you know, when I was a kid, I was in a church choir, and this is a group, and it was amazing show. But one of the, Nick Hakim, he played one of his songs, it was I Don't Know, Where Did You Go? And he said, this is a song that I wish I'd written. I was like, no more certification than that. And I found him, and he was incredible. I would usually say neither, not concept. I'm afraid of karaoke, because I feel like I saw someone say and really argue it, and a lot of people backing him, that singers shouldn't be allowed to go to karaoke, because we ruin it for people. Because I kind of get it, because the whole vibe is like, you can't sing, so I go on, and then you feel comfortable enough to go up, and it's like like a room mood, and then here I come, which I am objectively sick at singing. So it's just like, okay, if I could rap, I'll do karaoke. Yeah, that's a good idea. Books, comics in particular. I'll be more excited for the theatre. It's just a whole different thing. I think introvert for me, because as much as I enjoy people a lot, but you couldn't like, I would never optionally be like, I'm gonna go to a party. I know loads of people, I'm like, I'm done now. This is great, but anything else too much. Early bird, sure. 6 a.m. Early morning wake-ups. Passenger against my, I can't even drive, which sucks. Everyone's just like, I feel like that's put me down like 7 points. But yeah, I can't drive, unfortunately. Calling or texting? Call in. But it depends, on it. If I don't know you, don't call me. Or maybe call me. No. And in general, if I just want to talk to someone, it's always calling. There we go, so calling, I'd say. Sticks, man. Sticks is sick. What is one song you wish you'd written? That's perfect. Oh, there's so many, there's a million. Every day I find a song I wish I'd written. But I would have to say, there's really like albums and albums worth of songs I wish I'd written. I wish I'd written Don't Leave by Blackstreet. Dumb. That's the perfect R&B song ever. You got your problems, baby. Woo, what? Let's just spend it all by putting it together, yeah. Done, the best. Such a good question. Okay, let me think. Only clouds and all song. Best. Yeah. Yo, Elmiene, don't tell the gaffer I'm here.